have a question about Vayodhatu again. Because in English, the translation of Vayodhatu is usually motion. And sometimes I heard it translated as pressure as well. The trouble I have with motion is it always involves some different moments, like move from here to there. So how can it ever be directly known, because it's already like two different moments? So I wonder whether pressure would be a better word for that, or I would like to hear a chance comment and everyone's comment on this point.
Can that which is hard move?
No.
The other tangible object has its own characteristics, but there can be the sense of moving, right? Or it's only just there at all. See, stretching out one's hand, see, how come? Can the solidity move? It has its characteristic as to be just solid, hardness only. It cannot move. But how can that move? We don't talk about the action which is seen, but the moment of feeling. That's why we have the word like breath. It is not just there, but in and out. But actually, even in and out, it's not just the characteristic of that which we take for in long and out long, but it's there with other rupa. But its quality is that it is pressure. When something is so tight, hard to open, it's hard appearing, but the tightness, the pressure is there too. Different from other thing which is hard, right? So it's a daily life, and we have doubt about the word, but the truth is that it's moved, but the movement is not only the Vayodhatu. The other dhatu are there too, the other three, but that which can condition, that which can move must be. Otherwise, not the movement cannot be at all, right? But we can move we can swallow, we can drink, we can do anything because of that particular rupa, which it depends on whether it appears or not. Without the word, we can experience it, but ignorance is there, not understanding it as it is, that which has the quality of moving. Because when we talk about moving, it is not still. For example, hardness cannot move, and other Mahaphuta Rupa cannot move. But what is meant by moving? When we mold something like a pot, see, it moves so that it can become that quality, which is different from before. So it's quite unknown by thought only, but it has to be following the truth, whether it's a movement, what can make it move, something can leaf move, but it has Vayodhatu. See, it's moved by wind or whatever, but the reality is that makes it no change because it's moved all around to keep that shape to be such, not different. See, everything is so very detailed, fine, very fine, and very subtle to understand. For example, even right now, even one sits still, there must be that reality too, but it cannot be known at moment of touching when it does not appear. While one is walking, see, what is there? Hardness, softness, or that which is not hard, but it's there. Just stretch your hand. Is it hot or cold? But what is there? There must be a reality which keep on at moment when it arises to mold or to turn around or to move to be in that shape. So it's moment to moment, arising and falling away all the time, as the visible object condition the shape and form to be known as something. So it's there, which is different from hardness and asatatu, that it can make such be known as movement. All dhammas are so very subtle. As much as we can understand from the word and consider the truth, which is now moving, see, and the word of the Buddha, the enlightenment, because no one can think by one's own to understand each reality or all realities as Buddha. Anyone would like to experience it, or when it's there, no understanding, or try to use the word, or no matter what is there, it's different from hardness and heat. When you touch the balloon, it's different from the touch the cushion, right? Or sometimes the cushion is just like as the balloon too. That's right.
Well, I think, yeah, sorry.
It's different. So what is the difference? There must be the reality which makes it different, right?
Isn't that thinking, Tanajan? Like, I think that's a good
Not
example that you've given.
The balloon, and you know that it's so firm, or sometimes the flesh or when you touch someone, it's so very, what you call like a balloon, and the other is very, very weak, very, very soft.
With the balloon or the skin, for instance, you can touch, and there could be softness or pressure depending on, I guess, conditions as to which you'd feel.
And what is the condition?
Tangible object, body sense, and the citta.
What are the tangible objects?
With the balloon?
Anything.
Pressure, softness or pressure.
So it's different, right?
Yes, it's different.
And it can be touched. That condition, different kind of feeling of touching different things.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
But as long as it can be touched, it's not as subtle as the apotatu. See, who knows if Buddha didn't teach.
And about apotatu is the water element. Chamaha?
It's not the tangible object. It's not the Potaparatana. And that reality which vibrates can condition moment of what we say movement. But it's there in each rupa, in each kalapa of rupa.
But not as obvious as hardness or heat. Could we say that?
It appears when we try to, jump or something like that, see? But we use the word jump, but what is there? From Mahaputtarupas, from moment to moment, and it has different characteristics. So that which can vibrate or move or whatever we call it is that. Otherwise, nothing can be there as we think or say, move or movement.